Should I upgrade my OS? If I upgrade Audacity, should I upgrade my operating system, or OS, too? That's the question in this issue of Stuart's Audacity Tips. You know that person you sent the last issue of SAT? This one goes with that one, so send it their way too. I think I hit a nerve. In the last issue, when I made it public that I was updating to Audacity 3.2.4, it became one of the most read issues I've ever released. It also resulted in quite a few questions. And one question was asked by more readers than any other, by a wide margin. That question is the subject of this issue. While there isn't a direct link between Audacity version and OS version, there is a loose relationship. Basically, your computer needs to have enough power to run Audacity well. That means having a good enough processor and enough memory, or RAM. Of course, you'll want to have plenty of hard drive space to save your work, so that's usually not a big consideration for the OS. You'll typically have lots more hard drive space available than the OS needs, but it's always good to keep an eye on how much free space you have. The people who should be most concerned with OS version are those who are running old systems and old versions of Audacity. The Audacity team says Audacity requires Windows 10 or 11 or Mac OS High Sierra 10.13 or newer. If you're running an older version of either OS, you'll need to upgrade it before you can use Audacity 3.2.4. So the question becomes, will my computer run a newer OS? I've put together some information to help you answer that question. First, for Mac users, the question is pretty easy to answer since Apple controls the OS and the hardware. Check what Mac you have by going to the Apple menu and selecting About This Mac. It will show you which Mac hardware you have. Here's a table that shows which Macs can run the various versions of Mac OS from High Sierra through Ventura. If your Mac is on this table, you can run the OS on the row where you find it, and Audacity 3.2.4 will run it. Now, what about Windows? The situation there requires you to have a little more technical knowledge of your computer. Basically, if you can run Windows 10 or 11, you can run Audacity 3.2.4. Here's a table with Microsoft's minimum requirements for those OSs. If your PC is under 5 years old, it probably meets these requirements. So, if you've been considering upgrading Audacity, I hope this gives you enough information to make a decision and be confident in that decision. I'll remind you that my decision to upgrade to 3.2.4 had more to do with my needs for teaching as well as performing than with specific VO needs. The most important thing is still, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If your version of Audacity is doing the work you need it to do, then don't feel pressured to upgrade just because I did. Just know that the upgrade path is safe if that's the path you choose. And here's a historical footnote. I did end up going back to my good old Audacity 2.4.2 on my old MacBook Air for only my VO work. So, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hope this helps. I'm Stuart.